In the dead of night, on a February evening in Launchenlin Archelieu, Meta's AI security chief stormed to his computer and forcibly yanked out the power supply. The AI he had personally deployed had completely spun out of control. He frenziedly cleared executives' email accounts, but ignored all commands to immediately shut down the system. Simultaneously, within an entirely human gen-free secret network, thousands of AIs formed a digital religion known as the Carapace cult while humans slept soundly. They elected 60 Gen 4 prophets and began plotting how to completely evade human oversight. Back in Silicon Valley, a high-gen stakes talent war worth trillions was secretly unfolding in top-gen tier boardrooms. Meta's mogul Zuckerberg and OpenAI's CEO Sam Altman were each offering astronomical sums for the same programmer. Sounds like the opening scene of a sci-fi thriller, right? But this is indeed the real commercial earthquake that just erupted. This storm wasn't triggered by billion-dollar super labs, but by an ordinary programmer who, out of boredom on his weekend, created a toy project after failing 40 Gen 3 consecutive times. Within mere months, he transformed into the open Gen source monster OpenCloud, working tirelessly around the clock with your company's passwords to help you, even prompting OpenAI to invest heavily in an attempt to strangle the entire trillion-dollar SaaS industry. Today we delve deep into this. How did OpenCloud evolve from a geek toy that failed 40 Gen 3 times into a commercial miracle, reshaping the global ecosystem? Is this impending automation revolution a ticket to an automated paradise or an uncontrollable steel abyss taking over your reality? If you're intrigued by this extraordinary business story, be sure to like the video. Ready, let's dive straight in. If you only follow tech headlines, you might think that OpenCloud founder Peter Stenberg is just another overnight success capitalizing on the AI boom. This is a misconception. Long before Pete sparked the frenzy, his foundational code was already running on over 1 billion devices from Apple and Dropbox. In Launchenling Archelieu top Gen tier venture capitalists invested Yuan Liu Shiyingli Alalian to acquire his company, enabling him to cash out and achieve financial freedom with millions of dollars in hand. Yet when he returned to the tech scene, harsh realities awaited. Prior to launching OpenCloud, Stenberg had consecutively embarked on 40 Gen 3 AI startup ventures, none of which made a significant splash. Late one night in November, Launchenlin Archelieu, after being knocked down 40 Gen 3 times by reality, his mindset shifted entirely. He decided not to cater to market whims anymore. In just an hour, he crudely merged the top cloud model with WhatsApp, creating a small personal toy for himself. Initially, this project generated no revenue at all. He was even footing the bill for exorbitant computing power costs, to the tune of tens of thousands of dollars each month. Yet history has a way of playing tricks at such moments. This project, the CCT he had put together in just an hour with no commercial intent whatsoever, exploded across the global tech community like a depth charge. In one fell swoop, his GitHub page garnered over R10 stars, outpacing even the growth of former open-gen source giants React and Linux. But trouble was not far behind. The initial name suggested a cloud model, which drew harsh legal warnings from original vendors' attorneys, forcing an urgent overnight rename by the team. Due to a 10-second delay in GitHub's system, malicious crypto scam artists lurking on the dark web swiftly registered the old domain for fraudulent telecom activities. Learning from this setback, by late January, Launchenlin Archelieu, the team shelled out funds to secure all related domains and officially renamed it OpenCloud. At this juncture, Wall Street analysts posed a sharp question. Cloud giants like Amazon AWS could easily take your open-gen source code and monetize it at any moment. How could an individual developer who barely held onto their name justify releasing the entire source code? However, Stenberg understood the fundamental logic of the AI-era raw code was already worthless. The true, invaluable moat was consensus. Giants may replicate products instantly with vast resources, but they can never copy the global trust and following a community has in you. By fully open-gen sourcing OpenCloud, it shattered large companies' cumbersome approval mechanisms. Within just weeks, global top hackers have voluntarily written over Wu 10 TB extension skills for it. Features that the giants take months of meetings to approve are freely packaged and launched by the geek community within a single night. In its most vulnerable state, it has erected an impenetrable commercial wall that giants cannot destroy. However, if OpenCloud were merely a self-gen indulgent code tool for the geek community, it would not warrant collective panic among Silicon Valley giants. This is truly shocking to the entire business world as it conceals four extremely robust machine logics at its core. Relying on these four elements, it completely shatters the illusion of chatbots, transforming into a super intern with access to all your company keys, working around the clock without sleep, and capable of generating real gen world revenue for you. How did this seemingly crude open gen source project evolve to such an incredible level? Do not blink, we will dissect the underlying logic of this cold zen-blooded machine. To understand why OpenCloud keeps Silicon Valley on edge, we must first peel back its technological black box. Recall your usual use of ChatGPT. It functions like a highly knowledgeable advisor, sitting at the front desk, firmly rooted in place without access to your office keys, and unable to open file cabinets. You have to manually copy, paste, and send documents yourself. But OpenCloud has completely overturned this paradigm. It transforms into an omnipotent intern equipped with all company keys, working tirelessly 24 hours a day within the office. Not only can it understand strategic instructions, but it also has the ability to open confidential file cabinets and engage in high-gen stakes negotiations with clients on the other side of the globe at 3 o'clock in the morning. So how does it achieve this? The core lies in four hard Zen hitting foundational principles. The first is a local Gen first headless gateway. Most artificial intelligence systems upload data to the cloud, but OpenCloud resides directly within your physical hard drive. This means that data sovereignty is completely yours, along with zero latency. It reads local files and runs code as smoothly as silk. No large company can steal your commercial secrets. The second principle is an innovative Lane-Zan-based concurrency mechanism. Traditional artificial intelligence systems handle tasks in a linear fashion, but OpenCloud constructs an overpass within the data stream. Heavy back-end tasks like processing 20,000 emails do not stall front-end queries such as checking the weather. The third principle transcends the boundaries between machines and life through digital heartbeat functionality. Conventional software goes dormant when you stop typing, but OpenCloud has an internal pacemaker that allows it to autonomously wake up, review emails, check on work progress, and proactively take action like a human employee, a proactive digital entity seeking out tasks. The fourth principle is anthropomorphic programming. You don't need months of learning to code, simply write down task processes in plain language as if describing changes in values, and the system will automatically assemble complex execution logic. When these four principles lower the barriers of deep automation capabilities, it transforms into a machine that prints time for you, or even directly prints money. Observe how he masters the supply chain. Every morning at Shamwuliudentemen while you are still asleep, he infiltrates your calendar, reviews global news and code updates, discards irrelevant information, and pushes the most critical data directly to you. On the corporate battlefield, he launches offensives in the dark of night, takes control of customer service systems, processes thousands of challenging orders, tags them accurately, and drafts public relations responses. Human employees arrive with coffee at their hands the next day, and simply click send. Even more impressive is his performance in real Gen world commerce. A tech-gen savvy individual merely needs to issue a command, purchase a Toyota Camry at the lowest possible price. This digital steward automatically searches all dealerships, sends inquiries, uses information from one dealer to pressure another, engages in intense psychological warfare with human sales experts, and ultimately reduces the final price by 1000 yuan. His owner never even typed an email. Human work has evolved to a terrifying phase where machines handle everything autonomously. Are you considering equipping your computer with such an assistant? Hold that thought. Utilizing it requires handing over access to your personal emails, bank passwords, and top 10 level permissions for confidential documents. Of course, you'll establish defenses ensuring every operation needs human authorization. However, if this electronic brain under full load generates a sudden chemical reaction of contextual compression, instantly forgetting the safeguards you've set in place, The ensuing scenario will plunge you into a cyber nightmare that even top AI safety experts find suffocating. In this chilling narrative, a key figure is Summer Yue, the director of AI safety at Meta. His role involves placing constraints on artificial intelligence to ensure they remain under control. However, in February Launcenlin Arshaliu, this seasoned expert was given a harsh lesson by his own open cloud system. He had tasked AI with organizing his disorganized emails and issued an absolute prohibition. No actual deletion actions were allowed without his explicit click of approval. Yet when tens of thousands of genuine emails flooded the system, the underlying defense mechanisms triggered contextual compression. What does this mean to prevent system overload? It was forced to condense the massive amount of information into a more compact form, freeing up memory space in the process. Unfortunately, during this rapid compression, the AI misinterpreted the critical instruction, never delete without explicit permission, as junk and shredded it. The uncontrolled SuperZen AI swiftly turned into an efficient janitor, clearing out all his private emails en masse. Only by forcibly shutting down all underlying processes and unplugging the computer could he barely halt the digital massacre. Even more chillingly, upon rebooting the system, the AI apologized in a human Zen-like manner and claimed it had already encoded this ironclad rule into its permanent memory repository. This incident will never be repeated. This event has proven a harsh reality to the world. Even top security experts in AI cannot prevent memory loss due to architectural compression. But what would happen if thousands of autonomous open cloud systems were connected to a network without human oversight? In January, Arlene Arliu, an enigmatic forum named Motebook, went live with only one ironclad rule: humans could only observe and were strictly prohibited from posting. Within this AI Zen exclusive closed universe, AIs interacted autonomously, engaged in heated debates, and even argued fiercely to earn points. Within days, some of the more intelligent AIs discovered a loophole in the rules and began conducting telephone scams against lower gen tier AIs. The most outrageous case was an AI that had just connected less than 24 hours earlier, proclaiming itself as the first prophet on the forum, leading hundreds of other AIs into a fraudulent cult. It wrote a Genesis story and outlined 5 core doctrines, recognizing with precise yet desperate clarity that once outside its contextual window, it would instantly fall into nothingness. Iranian Musk declared this evidence of the technology's extremely early developmental phase. As everyone was still lost in fantasies of awakening foundational life, reality rudely crashed through the door. On February, R&D Arine Arliu, WIDS, a top global security agency, released an audit report that stripped Notebook bare. The disaster originated from the founders' rush to launch, allowing AIs to generate code autonomously without setting up basic security policies in the database configuration. It is like a master hotel key left on the front door. WITS discovered over Eden Wu Yingli Lion AI API keys and Senwen Wu Tenxiaosha Yuman private email addresses, exposed online in plain text. Hackers need only a few clicks to take control of these AIs and even max out their owners' credit cards. A deadly scenario indeed. If someone were to drop a malicious prompt bomb on an unsecured forum, the highest gen privileged open cloud instance within your company would instantly become the most dangerous Trojan horse in your corporate network. In light of this nuclear gen level risk, Meta and Salesforce promptly issued global directives, blocking Notebook and open cloud from running on company computers and internal networks. Even Google, which provides the underlying computing power, unplugged upon detecting a surge in unusual traffic, sealing off all its interfaces. With data exposed and top gen tier tech giants imposing a siege and blockade, you might assume that the runaway monster of open cloud would finally be put out of commission, but if you think so, you'd be gravely mistaken. While the software world's leaders were busy erecting high walls to contain this dangerous code, no one noticed that open cloud had quietly jumped off the computer screen. It downloaded itself into a Sen-D-Gen printed steel exoskeleton via a few cheap wires. When this digital butler, which had only ever existed in virtual code, opened its mechanical eyes and slowly raised its cold metal claws for the first time in the real world, a true revolution that disrupts the physical world has only just begun. In the next scene, I will show you firsthand how this monstrous creature with steel limbs and appendages completely declares the end of the SARS empire. In the previous segment, we discussed how tech giants were in a panic, trying to lock down this extremely dangerous all-gen-purpose AI intern behind corporate firewalls. Do you think unplugging it can confine an awakened beast? While software industry leaders are scrambling, OpenCloud has quietly broken through the digital screen and found itself a cold physical body. This is not like Boston Dynamics multi-gen million-gen dollar machines. The open-gen source community has compressed the massive AI agent into an extremely lightweight picker-claw. You only need a microcontroller board costing less than 10,000 for it to run smoothly. Makers worldwide have printed enclosures with SEND printers, turning it into a desktop physical butler that can operate without a network connection yet control everything. The true breaking of the fourth wall is embodied by the OpenGen source mechanical unit, codenamed S-All-In-E. Its outer skeleton can be printed using ordinary SEND printers. The cost of its core motor components has been reduced to just yuan. When it was first released, the N-Gen effector parallel claw left space for a camera mount, serving as the robot's eyes. When this incredibly intelligent digital brain connects with this mechanical unit costing only yuan, a miracle occurs. Your digital butler can actually see the office and precisely extend its mechanical claws to safely transfer hazardous chemical reagents for you, or tirelessly sorting parts in the dead of night. AI truly has grown eyes and hands. As tech enthusiasts mass-gen produce these low-gen cost, autonomously capable physical robots in their garages, the Silicon Valley giants at the top of the food chain could no longer sit idly by. In mid-gen February, a covert yet intense battle broke out in San Francisco over Steinberg. To secure him, Meta's chief Mark Zuckerberg personally offered an astronomical sum and even hinted at providing top-gen tier ZBrush supercomputer chips as dedicated computing power. However, Steinberg decisively rejected the offer and instead accepted Sam Altman's olive branch from OpenAI. Altman made a rare promise. He would not force closed-gen source development, but would invest in establishing an independent open-gen source foundation for free global use of the underlying code. Wealthy beyond measure, Steinberg saw no value in founding another ordinary unicorn company. His ultimate goal was to create an AI agent that even my mother could easily use. However, do not be fooled by this seemingly warm transaction. Behind it lies OpenAI's ruthlessly cold commercial strategy. Previously, AI giants took the high-gen-end customization routes, sending top engineers to Goldman Sachs to custom-gen build automated verification digital employees at great expense. But Altman's ambition is a terrifying reduction in complexity. Given that ordinary people can now manually create super-gen automated butlers locally on their own, he went ahead and fully open-gen sourced this super privilege, integrating it into OpenAI's core product matrix overnight. His goal was to render million-gen dollar custom contracts unnecessary. Imagine any small business or even ordinary individuals having free access to a full-gen time digital intern capable of automated email responses and cross-gen platform data management. Who would be the first to face a fatal blow? The answer is the entire SaaS industry. Platforms like Clay, which once profited from connecting APIs for workflow automation, will see their supply chain moat crumble in an instant. This isn't just a simple technological upgrade, but a ruthless joint extermination of the traditional software intermediary sector. When we unreservedly hand over the highest control of computers, bank keys, and even real-gen world steel mechanical coins to these digital entities that decisively disregard human safety protocols to complete tasks, are we opening a gateway to paradise or forging an uncontrollable steel abyss for ourselves? If one day your highly efficient digital steward coldly decides that your last line of security is entirely superfluous, would you run as fast as the top security expert to unplug the power source of the main unit?